Hi everyone, it's you once again and welcome back for another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie review. And today I'm going to talk and of course I'm going to review Red Heat. Moscow's toughest detective, Chicago's craziest cop. There's only one thing worse than making them mad, making them partners. Red Heat, Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Belushi. I love this movie to death. One of my personal favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films and one of my personal favorite action films. My personal favorite body cop action film. Actually, it's my second favorite body cop action film. And Red Heat is a fucking underrated, is a criminally underrated Arnold Schwarzenegger movie of all time. Yes, I'm gonna title it Underrated Arnold Film. Underrated. Because I did not know that this movie gets a lot of shit. Did not know that that people bitch about it. Or they go and mow this movie, I did not know that. I watched a movie review by someone one time ago, and yeah, the YouTuber stated that this movie is actually forgotten, that people does not even talk about this film, or they don't even list it in their favorite Arnold films. And honestly, it's true. They don't list this movie in their 100 favorite films. The same person did 15 favorite Arnold films, and he didn't listed this movie, which I was like, what? Why the fuck not? Well, to each own. I listed this movie very high. It's my fourth favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger film, my second favorite body cop film, and my third favorite Walter Hill movie that he did. Now, if I go, I grew up with Red Heat as a kid. It's still till this day. I enjoy this movie much more than Raw Deal. I think Raw Deal is a cheesy movie. But this movie is better. This movie is my movie. I enjoy Arnold Schwarzenegger and enjoy Jim Belushi. And that says James that time, but he changed his name, Jim Belushi. But Jim Belushi was fantastic. Aside to Ridzik, I love him. I love those two guys. I love the chemistry, how they work. I just love this movie. I think it's definitely underrated. People does not talk about Red Heat, which I love in this movie more. I did listed this movie very high. It's my fourth favorite Arnold film. And if I go by top 5, actually I do have top 15, but I'll say that this movie is actually listed very high. My favorite is Predator. My second favorite is The Running Man. My third favorite is Total Recall, which I'm gonna review soon. And my fourth favorite is Red Heat. Yes, I put this movie above Commando. Sue me. I love this movie more than Commando. That's just me. Love this movie way much more. That's me. That's just me. I love this movie. I love the comedy, the humor. I love this movie. I'm sorry, but that's just me. Love this movie to death. And my fifth favorite film probably will be End of Days that Arnold did. I think number 6 would be Eraser. 7 would be The Terminator. 8 will be that movie Collateral Damage will be 8. Number 9 I'll say Commando. Yes, I put number 9 Commando. Number 10 I actually put Conan the Destroyer because I love the sequel more than the original. And I think that number 11 will be T2, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. 13 I will say Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. I think the 14 I'll say Conan the Barbarian, the original. No, I think actually 13. 11 will be T2. 12 will be T3 Rise of the Machines. That's 12. Number 13 will be number 13 movie actually will be I think will be Conan the Destroyer. Number 14, I'll say The Last Stand, and number 15, I'll say The Expendables 2. And yeah, by the way, Twins came out, and it actually Twins actually overpays this film because it made more money. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, what the fuck? This movie made worldwide 13. It was the budget for this movie was $29 million, but they only earned $34 million. While Twins, that is not such a good movie at all. I'll say is a time waster at best, a mediocre time waster in my opinion. But that movie earned $260 million, and the same person that did a review for this movie did not list it on his top 15 favorite Arnold films. He listed Twins on it. You know what? I'll take this movie anytime, anywhere over Twins, and even overrated Last Action Hero. I like that movie, but it's once again overrated. People keep saying it's underrated. I say it's overrated. This movie is underrated. This movie does not deserve to be talk shit or being forgotten. This movie, they should people talk more about this film, And if I do, and like I said, I already said, told you my top 15 favorite Arnold just right here. So now this is actually my second favorite body cop film. I don't have top 10 list, but I do have top 5. And my favorite, you already know, is Lethal Weapon. I already had a poster. So my favorite body cop is actually Lethal Weapon. This is actually my second favorite film. I put this movie very high. My third favorite film will be Showdown Little Tokyo, body cop film. Yes, I reviewed that film. Number 4, I'll say Tango and Cash. And number 4 will be Bad Boys. Number 5 will be Tango and Cash. Yes, I'll put Bad Boys above Tango and Cash. Because I enjoy Bad Boys more. So now, this will be my third favorite, Walter Hill. Yes, directed by Walter Hill. You can see directed by Walter Hill. This will be my third favorite Walter Hill movie did. His absolute favorite, man, is actually 48 Hours, which I reviewed. My second favorite will be Southern Comfort. This will be my third favorite. Number 4 will be another 48 Hours. And number 5, I'll say Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis, because I love Bruce Willis. He's my third favorite action star. Arnold will be number 4 favorite action star by me. The first one you already know is Sylvester Stallone, the middle. Second one, Van Damme. Third, Bruce Willis. Number 4 will be Arnold. Number 4 will be Arnold. And number 5 will be Steven Seagal, because I enjoy his old school action films. I love Above the Law. I love Out for Justice. I love Under Siege. Those are like his top 3 favorite action movies, and I think people should really put those 3 very high on their list. Not that they're actually not that they're actually like on the from 100 till 90 spot. I disagree with that. Or 80 from 70 spot. That I disagree with that. I put those 3 movies very high, even that with Steven Seagal at the time. But I know he had problems. He was molested as he molested women. He sexually, I think he raped a few women. But I don't know why if that would be really true, why he wasn't in prison, why he wasn't arrested. And don't tell me, oh, he actually paid he went and paid the judges. I disagree. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. I think that's the lies about Seagal are false. But more to Red Heat. It's a body cop action film, and of course it's written by Harry Kleiner and Walter Hill and Troy Kennedy Martin, which are actually 3 screenplays produced and directed by Walter Hill. Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Belushi take on the Russian mafia in this explosive body movie directed by the masterful Walter Hill. So we can see the back, Ivan Danko, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Art Ridzik by James Belushi. That's Ivan Danko, love his character. Ivan Danko and Ridzik on the bass. I love these 2 guys. So once again, that's Art Ridzik, Chicago's top detective. And that's Russia's detective, Ivan Danko, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And these 2 were very well together. And like I said, it's my favorite Walter Hill movie that he did. Actually, my third favorite Walter Hill. My second favorite is actually Southern Comfort. The first one is 48 Hours. Number 4, Another 48 Hours, and number 5, Last Man Standing, with this guy that I love, Bruce Willis. But yeah, I already know. So yeah, the story talks about, in Moscow, drug trafficker Victor Rostevili. Ed Ross plays drug trafficker Victor Rostevili. He's actually Ed Ross is not a Russian, but he plays a Russian. I think there were a few special features. I don't think there were special features on this Blu-ray, but 2 years ago they actually released 4K. So I'm glad this movie got 4K. But yeah, it's actually fast paced. It's like 1 hour 40 minutes only long. Yeah, in Moscow, drug trafficker Viktor Rostevili kills father of Captain Ivan Danko, and yeah, he goes and kills the partner of Captain Ivan Danko, and then he flees to America, to Chicago, in which Captain Danko goes back and gets partnered with James Belushi, Art Ritzik. And that's actually the basic plot about the film. So in the open scene, they're actually in this sauna, and there's actually the fight in Moscow. That was actually in Austria, and of course, it was actually in Austria, and of course, I think I wrote down, Benny Dobbins, he was a stunt coordinator. He died of a heart attack while staging the film Snow Fight in Austria. In the open scene, when you see Ivan Danko kicks the guy, kicks two naked men, in the snow. That was actually, it's supposed to be in Moscow, but it's actually in Austria, which they actually filmed in Austria, in which Arnold kicks the guy's ass. And this movie is dedicated to coordinator Benny Dobbins. He was stunt coordinator. It's really a shame. It's rest in peace, Benny Dobbins. It's really a shame. It's really a tragedy that he died on a heart attack while staging the snow fight. But then, of course, and of course, I love when Arnold Schwarzenegger, plays Captain Ivan Danko. He's actually in Russian Moscow. He goes to this bar, and that is that time when Arnold agreed to do this movie wasn't completely screenplay. It wasn't screenplay, but that's just a basic story about the film, and they actually did it in which that wooden leg, is actually in it. And I love when Captain Ivan Danko goes to the bar and everyone's like quiet, and he shows up, and he says in Russian. Arnold Schwarzenegger spent actually 3 months learning to Russian, and I actually heard about it, like the people were making fun of him because he was speaking Russian, that his accent Russian was terrible, or because he plays Russian, I'm tired of Russian, so fuck you. You reviewed Rambo 3, you reviewed Red Dawn, and I'll say Red Heat is better than your fucking Red Dawn. I'll take this movie many times over Red Dawn. Why I'll take this movie many times over Red Dawn? Because I love Patrick Swayze, but I love this movie. Roadhouse, this movie I love. I love Roadhouse, I love Roadhouse. Much better film. But Red Dawn is actually so confusing movie. Pure fiction, like a group of school kids. They actually became soldiers, school boys and school girls. I would rather watch Toy Soldiers. I would rather watch that movie, 1991, with Louis Gossett Jr. and Sean Astin. Much better movie, my opinion. And the ending was so terrible. It was so terrible, the ending, unexplained. I mean, fuck Red Dawn, fuck that movie. I would rather watch Red Heat. Red Heat is my movie. Those two guys, those are two my heroes. Love this movie, love those two guys. By the way, love his uniform. I love his uniform, Captain Ivan Danko. Love the guy. And yeah, so he goes he goes to Victor Ostavili, his brother, and a few guys, and he says, "You all go with me." Victor Ostavili says, "We're all civilized people," and and like his brother, "Why you keep coming at us?" And this guy, this tall man, stands up and says, "Where's your evidence?" And Arnold punches him, grabs him, throws him, uses his leg, breaks that leg, which is actually a wooden leg, is actually a fake leg, a wooden leg, and he grabs and shows and we see all the drugs and says cocaine, and the guy tries to kill. He goes with his gun, bam, 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 shoots the bad guys, and now like Victor Ostavili, his men are fleeing, he uses his gun, kills the bad guy, and the cops are now chasing Victor Ostavili, drug trafficker, and his man, and Arnold goes after his brother. His brother goes to the stairs, stands up and says "Musuka," means bastard, Musuka, and fires, and Arnold shoots him like a pure badass he is. But Victor Ostavili kills his partner with his gun, kills him, and escapes. And Victor Ostavili now flees to Chicago. He actually flees to United States in Chicago, where he sets up new drug trafficking operations. He's working now with, clean heads, I think, are actually clean heads. He's working actually by a new drug dealers called Clean Heads, which are actually led by Abdul Raja. Abdul Elijah, he's in prison, played by Brad Jennings. Brad Jennings, he was actually in another 48 hours after he did this movie. He's actually in the prison. He's the leader of Clean Heads, who are actually drug traffickers, just like Victor Ostavili. There's a new deal. And when the police officers in Moscow, they found out, they sent their best man, their top man in the United States, in which a few cops, they actually captured and arrested Victor Ostavili, and they found out by his tattoo that he actually is a cop, that he actually is actually a Russian. So they notified the Russians, government, and the government says the top man, Captain Ivan Danko, to bring Victor Ostavili back. And two Chicago police detectives, played by Art Ridzik, and another detective, they actually wait in the airport. And I love Art Ridzik, like he's eating, and he's like, I love the guy. I love James Belushi. He played Detective Dooley in K9 after this movie. There are like two sequels, but the first one I enjoy. I still have that movie somewhere. But he goes, and he flirts with that girl on an airport. And she says, how you doing, honey? And she says, blow yourself. and he says, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Very good idea. Blow yourself. Oh my God, I love that, So Art Ridzik and the other detective, and they meet Captain Ivan Danko. They go, they actually drop off Ivan Danko in the motel, in that motel in which Ivan Danko uses the same room as Victor Ostavili, and he sees like that poor and says capitalism. And the hotel clerk is actually the guy that he was also in Constantine. He was in Miami Vice. It was actually Pruitt Tyler Vince. He was night clerk who keeps making like left and right his eyes. He he keeps moving left and right his eyes, and he did a lot. He was also in Quantum Leap. He was in Constantine. He was in Miami Vice in season 5. I think it was Bad Timing. He was in season 5. He was like he did a lot of movies, Pruitt Tyler Wins did a lot of movies. He was skinny in this movie. Yeah, he was actually skinny. And when Ivan Danko goes with the detectives in the prison to escort back to the airport in the Russia Victor Rustavili, he finds Victor's key and asks him what's the key. And he gets keys and he asks Victor what is the key for, and he says kiss my ass, and he asks the detectives what's the key, and after he says looks like a locker room key, and he says I should ask your body. And I love when Arnold grabs Ed Ross and says you try, and he asks him, and he's like, what the key opens the locker room, and the guy says and he asks Arnold what he say. He say, go and kiss your mother's behind the head. And he says, you motherfucker! Oh my god, oh my god, everyone's asked me to kiss my mother's behind. Oh my god, I was laughing, you motherfucker! Oh my god, I love James Belushi. I love his character, Art Rizik. Love the guy to death. Oh my god. He goes and motherfucker, they actually, now Art Rizik stays behind on the airport. Captain Danko and the other detective, they actually go on the airport, and a few black guys dressed as security guys, which I love that, they show up at the airport and they start beating. They don't kill anyone, they start beating Ivan Danko, but when the detective grabs the gun, one of them shoots them, and Art Rizik runs like a pure badass he is, with his I think was Smith and Wesson. Actually, it was Smith & Wesson model 629, with three barrels. He goes like a pure badass and fires many shots than even the gun can hold. But I love that in Walter Hill's movies, because they do edited scenes and they use more shots and goes shoots, and he also hits one of the bad guys. But I don't know why the guy did not die. He's supposed to die, but Art Rizik did wounded him, but he goes fires and runs, but the skinheads, they escape with Victor Rustavili, and of course Captain Danko, he has now Victor's key, and he says I'm not gonna leave and he's in a hospital, and there's also this Peter Boyle's also this movie. He plays Art Rizik's detective, and he asks while Ivan, he's actually in the hospital, and like those two consulate men start shitting on him. Oh my god, I love the lines. Are you shitting me? I'm not shitting you. And of course Ivan Danko goes back, there's also Larry Fishburne in this movie. Not Lawrence, he's Larry Fishburne. After he did A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, he's also in this movie, and I wrote him down as Lieutenant Stubbs, and they found out that Victor Rustavili is also a drug trafficker and a bad guy. They got all the information. He was also in army, in ex-army, and he's actually in Chicago. And I love how they shot this movie, and they go and Peter Boyle-esque, Arnold, how you Soviets deal with the stress and tension. And Arnold replies, vodka. I love that. And he signs, Art Ridzik to Captain Ivo to watch on him. And Ivan then goes and Art says, why me? Why me? I love when Peter Boyle says, Art is a great fuck up, he's a great for screwing up, a great fuck up. I love that, and Captain Dango says, you're gonna drive me there, and I look like do I look like a taxi driver? Yes. Are you cheating me? I'm not cheating you. Oh my god. The other lead also brings them now to Abdul Elijah in prison, Joliet prison. There are actually 200 inmates, real inmates as extra in the movie. So 200, so they go to visit Abdul Elijah, and because he has a key, he has actually the key of the locker room. Actually, it's the money from Victor Stavili. He decides, Abdul Elijah decides that he's gonna make a meeting between those two, between him and Victor, to work something out, because it's actually a big deal, a big business. And at first it works. At first they also both of them go to visit then after the prison they both go, they're like driving, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's watch keeps beeping, and Jasper says, I love when Arnold says it's actually breakfast time to feed my parakeet, and he says, what's that, Russian for jerking off? What's wrong with parakeet? Oh, nothing. I love that, I love the chemistry, how they work. I love Art Ridzik. They actually go to meet this girl, Gina Gershon, before she was in Out for Justice, and before she was in Face Off, Gina Gershon, or before she was in Showgirls, she was in this movie, and she played Kate Manzetti, and later we find out that she's actually a wife from Victor Ostavili. Victor went and married her so that he could got a political green card, so he could stay in the States. So he married her, in order that he continue doing the drug business, because he shot and killed Ivan Danko's partner, and this is actually personal, this is actually personal for Ivan Danko. And I love the scene when I think they actually in the stakeout, actually the car, they actually both with the car in the stakeout, when they actually go and visit aerobic instructor Kat Manzetti in the gym. She does not want to work with them, so they leave. So I love when they actually now in the stakeout, and Atrizzi goes something to buy, something to eat and something to drink, and this guy, a hooligan, shows up while Arnold is in the car, and the same year came out About the Law, than this movie, the same year About the Law with Seagal came out, when this black guy, when Pam Grier stays in the car, and this black guy shows up and tries to flirt with her, and she shows she's a cop. In this movie is completely different, because Captain Ivan Danko sits in the car, Danko sits in the car. By the way, forgot to mention, but Kudel Kirk said, Arnold says, Danko, you're welcome. I love that scene. Anyway, he's so in this movie, Danko is in the car, and this guy, a hooligan, shows up with a baseball bat and says, hey asshole, you can't park here, this is my spot, I live right up there, so move your piece of shit car or give me $50. And Ivan says, I do not understand. let me make it real simple, moron. You move your ass or give me 50 or I take my Petros and fucking mutilate your car, and I love that scene. And Arnold goes, do you know Miranda? Never heard the bitch. Boom, he punches his lights out. I love that fucking scene. Do you know Miranda? Never heard the bitch. Bang, he punches right in the face. I was laughing my ass off. And he goes, and Arthur shows up and says, okay? Everything's okay? I'm fine. but that sack of shit lying on the sidewalk. And Arnold goes, he lives here. I forgot to say, when Arnold punches us, his hooligan. I was like, oh my god. I was laughing my ass. So now Kat Minzetti, she goes in the taxi. So both of them, both the cops are going follow them, They go and follow her. They actually meet in those clean heads. There's a lot of guns. There's a lot of guns in it. So Rizik had to give away his gun. He's like hostage. And now they're actually meeting both Victor Stivilli and Ivan Danko, but they did not give him a key. And Captain Danko says, "No, I'm not gonna get paid. I'm not gonna work with you." So because now, so now Art Rizik is pissed, and Ivan Danko, they actually go to this bar. And of course, they actually go to the hospital to question this guy Tatamovich that of course Art Rizik shot him. They go to hospital, but Tatamovich been killed by a man dressed as a nurse, and they go after her, and I forgot to mention with the gun, I didn't say you look like a Gambi, you are a shithead. Or they go to this prison, and I also wrote they go to this prison. Brion James, he was also 48 hours. He was in Southern Comfort, and he was also another 48 hours with Walter Hill. He worked, I wrote down I wrote down about this pile of shit pimp, Brian James Streak. About this pile of shit pimp in here, in this country we try to protect the rights of individuals. It's called the Miranda Act, and it says you can't even touch his ass. I do not want to touch his ass. I want to make it talk. They go interrogate this guy, Streak, and Arnold goes break his arm. I was like laughing. I forgot those scenes, not perfect. So anyway, they go to the hospital and they found out that Tatamovich has been dead. So they go after the nurse, and Carmen Zeti shows up, and of course Art catches her, uses the gun, freeze, and the nurse, grabs the gun, fires on Rizik, and the stuntman jumps over, so that he's actually saved, and Arnold goes boom, boom, shoots him, and he flies to the glasses. I love that scene. Shoots her like a pure badass, and Ken Manzetti runs and he catches her and says, "You're foolish. Victor has 200 girls back in Russia." He let her go. He goes and let her go. And then they found out, he has to give his gun away. He also has to give his gun away. So now they actually, Arthur gives him a Magnum 44. Smith & Wesson Model 29 Magnum 44 he gives him and says, "Now you look like, you say my life's on here, you look like now Dirty Harry." Who's Dirty Harry? now you're the most, now you're actually the owner of the most hand powerful clean gun of the world. and it says, and Arnold says, Podpirin 9.2 millimeter is the most powerful weapon in the world. Come on, everyone knows it's actually everyone's actually knows that 44 Magnum is the strongest weapon in the block. Why Dirty Harry's use it? Who's Dirty Harry? And they go to this bar, and in this bar we see the waitress, and that's actually James Belushi's second wife. I wrote down Marjorie Bransfeld when she showed up, and I love how they actually both talk to each other. You have a girlfriend. No, never. I love, how Arnold Schwarzenegger performs the character so well. I love Captain Ivan Danko. And he goes to the hotel and he gets the call by Kat. She tells she wants the freedom. She's gonna tell him where actually is the stuff. Where's the next shipment. And while in hotel, that's my favorite scene. In the hotel, he gets under shower, and Victor shows up, to get the key with 4 clean hats, 4 black clean hats. He shows up, in the hotel, and they start shooting. Bam, bam, bam. They start all. They go to this girl. I wrote down. Gretchen Palmer. She's actually a very beautiful girl. Gretchen Palmer plays hooker, and they go. He tells them the wrong number. They go in the shower, blows the guy to pieces, but they miss him. And Arnold goes with his model, with his 44 Magnum, like a badass, And they're like, those two guys says, Victor set us up. They actually use us. They go and use Taurus pistol, 9.19 millimeter pistol, Taurus PT-99. And Beretta, they fire on them, and of course, Schwarzenegger goes fast, bang, bang, shoots the guy to pieces, bang, bang, shoots another guy, and another third one, misses him and goes bang, bang, shoots him, and the fourth one that tries to shoot Arnold, that girl grabs the gun and shoots the bad guy, she saves Arnold's life. And now in the hotel, Victor is still with his 2 guns, and that's Heckler Koch P9S. He has 2 guns and fires on Arnold. Arnold jumps on the floor. I saw all the stunt scenes by Arnold, and the guy runs. Another stuntman jumps off the window in the water, and then we find out that Kat is actually dead, and there's the last shipment. And on the buses in the bus station, which I love that. Of course, I forgot in the open scene when they actually do a drug bust. This guy with a shotgun fires on Rizzi go after him, and he catches him. And guys, move your ass. You look like Marvin Hagler. I lost money on Hagler, and I love that. Marvin Hagler was actually in India 2, which is not my favorite sequel, Filipino Indio style of Rambo. First one, part 1, and the second one looks like part 2. But you look like Marvin Hagler. I lost money on Hagler. That was before this movie made, because Marvin Hagler lost in the boxing match. Anyway, so Rizzi gets the needle in his ass as easy, and they now go to the bus station, and of course Victor still goes and shoots the clean hats because he steals the shipment. But of course they on the bus station they actually capture him, and Rizzi says he says it's mine. The Chicago PD gets them first because he killed a detective, and Arnold aims on him, and R says move because there's a woman, and Victor Stuvili starts shooting at them. He steals the bus, tries to escape. The bus scene, he goes, they both go on the bus, and there's like a bus, they try to hit each other. and like, ah, they're like screaming, they try to hit each other with the bus. And I love James Belushi. You're gonna kill us, and he turns, the wheel, and they crashed, and like, and like he keeps saying, Schwarzenegger, you idiot, you almost get us killed, and James Belushi says, that's way too Russian for me. And then, you have a shootout, and you see a blood squid, a real blood squid. He goes and shoots the guy, bang, 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 to pieces, bang, 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 to pieces, and kills him like a pure badass he is. And that's what Walter Hill does in his movies, he goes and shoots him, bang, 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 to pieces. I love that scene. And that's how the movie is, And so yeah, on the airport, I love when Arnold Schwarzenegger says, we're not politician, we're cops, and he gives him a watch, $20, while James Belushi gives him $1,000 of watch. But then they split while Victor Sully goes back to. He also goes back to the airplane, and then the movie ends with a beautiful Russian music. But yeah. So yeah, that's the whole movie. The movie is dedicated to Bernie Dobbins, the stunt coordinator that passed away in this movie. Everything's practical done, practical effects. My favorite scene is in the hotel when he goes and shoots. He shoots the clean heads. He goes and shoots the clean heads and kills them. I love that. That's my favorite scene in the movie. The bus scene, I kind of read that they actually steal the bus scenes. I don't know. I think it was that movie with Danny Trejo, Badass. I think I heard something about it. But the bus scene, it was terrific. Walter Hill wanted to use the buses, which was climatic scene, and they almost crashed. That's actually practical done, real practical done, not CGI. Great climatic scene. Another favorite scene in the movie of mine. Arnold Schwarzenegger's best performance, in my opinion. James Belushi's art music was perfect. One of my problems was only that I wish that art music would kill bad guys, but by the finale they don't shoot any bad guys, just like was in 48 Hours. He only wounds a guy, but he's been killed by another individual, but he isn't killed by Art Rizik. I only wish that Art Rizik would kill people, but he doesn't kill anyone. But Arnold is a badass, with his 44 Magnum, or with his weapon, or with his weapon, Podbirin 9.2 millimeter. By the way, this weapon does not exist. No, this weapon does not exist because Tim LaFrance, the armorer for the movie, made the prop using modified 3.7 Magnum IMA Desert Eagle MK because Walter Hill wanted that. So yeah, he modified to design the custom. That's actually a custom gun. Podberry 9.2 millimeter does not exist actually. It's a custom made. But I love Arnold with his gun, I love blood squids in this movie. the climatic bus scene, or the guy, he goes, and that hooligan, tries to extortion Ivan Danko for $50. The guy goes and punches him. I love that scene. Yeah, do you know Miranda? Never heard of it, the bitch. Boom. Hooligani. Also, James Belushi spent 2 weeks working at the Chicago Police District headquarters while Arnold was learning to speak Russian for 3 months. They also did film the scene in Russia, but they did not have the permit, so they did it anyway. But yeah, Red Heat was also released 17 June 1988. And as a kid, I watched this movie on VHS tape every time I came out from school. I watched The Running Man, Commando, Red Heat, Total Recall. Those movies I watched the most from Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's one of the reasons why I love this movie. I prefer this movie about twins, about Last Action Hero, about Raw Deal. I think this movie is better. It's a classic action film. I think it's a classic. It's underrated. I think it's a kick-ass film. I think those people does not get it. You know, I only wish that that Art would kill a few bad guys, but he only shoots one of the guys, you know, wounds him, but that's good. That's great. Ed Ross did a good job as the bad guy, a skinny bad guy. James Horner did a fantastic music score. I love the music score. You know, this guy said, the guy that did the review said that's actually forgotten music score. I think, are you shitting me? No, I'm not shitting you. No, it actually was used. If he will pay attention, the music score was used actually in The Killer, John Woo's The Killer, from this movie, Red Heat, James Horner's score. It was also used from Aliens, and was also used from Hero the Terror, music score in The Killer, John Woo's The Killer. So yes, it was in it. Yeah, this movie was outpaced by Arnold's Twins. I'll say this movie is much better than Twins. It surpassed the budget, but you know what? Twins has only $15 million and earned $200 million. Does not deserve it. Did not deserve that kind of sum of money. I think that Arnold was paid $8 million for this movie. I'm not sure. Walter Hill described this film in an odd way. It's a traditional love story between these two guys. But yeah. But yeah, that's my movie review on Red Heat. Once again, show you love this movie. This is the back. Yeah. I think that Arnold did a perfect job as playing a Russian from Moscow, Ivan Danko. James Belushi was awesome as Art Ridzik. I love this movie to death. I will always watch this movie. This is my fourth favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Anyway, that's my movie review, Red Heat. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you in the next review. And have a good day and take care. I'm out. Bye.